All right, so we're going to make this. So you have Q-tips on your desk. You need your glue and your scissors. You should have out. And I'm going to do one with you, so I need to borrow. Do you have a glue stick?
I have 6.
Do you have an extra one?
I have an extra one. I can go.
No.
I have an
Thank you.
There's extra ones back here.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to start. At the end, I have white pens, so everyone can label them and write their name on them. We're going to wait till the end to do it, because we're going to build it first, okay? So everybody take one Q-tip. Hope this sticks with the gravity. And just stick it right in the middle. Right in the middle. To match this one. Yes, glue it. Put the glue on the paper. Just straight. We're matching this right here.
Oh, I see.
That's going to be like the sternum. I don't think you'll need a lot of glue. Just glue. Give me a thumbs up. Everybody has their sternum glued down. All right. Next, you're going to take a Q-tip and cut it in half. In half.
Oh, geez.
Whoa.
Brandon's mindful of what's here.
If you hold both ends of it, it won't do with that.
Like this.
Okay, yep. We have a lot of cutting to do, so mine's not perfectly in half, but. So this is technically going to be the clavicle. Does anybody remember what the clavicle is? Koi?
Your arm.
No. Luke? It's like your neck bone. Yep. So we're gonna put a little line on this side and a little line on this side. It's gonna be this piece right here.
Making a T.
Making a T.
Looks just like the letter T.
So lowercase T.
No, it's not.
All right.
It should look like an uppercase T.
For Tiffany.
Or
Or Todd. Turner.
for Randy.
All right. Hold up your next Q-tip. You're the chosen one. You're gonna cut it in half, and then you're gonna cut a tiny bit off each half, like this. So it's gonna look like. Oops. It's just gonna be a little bit shorter than our teeth, like this. So we're gonna make this first set of ribs. Our first set of ribs. One second. In half, but then it'll cut off a little more because we're gonna make it shorter than our clavicle. Does that make sense? Just a little bit shorter. You picking up something now? So you should have this so far. A clavicle, a sternum, and one rib. A set of ribs.
You notice that we're putting the puffy parts on the outside.
Anybody not understand?
Oh, geez. So like,
There you go.
is that supposed to be straight or like I'm going?
What, the sternum?
No, they're supposed to be straight up.
They're all supposed to be straight. If mine is not straight, it's because
Gravity.
I'm a little-
Scoliosis.
perfect.
That's good.
Perfect. The next Q-tip, you're gonna do the same thing, but even shorter.
Oh.
Not by a bunch. It just makes a little bit of a difference.
We'll back in later.
Yeah.
A
I might
little
need to go
bit.
back there and do it. Oh, perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect, guys.
Oh, that's too short. So it needs to be.
Give me a thumbs up when you have 2 sets of ribs. A clavicle, a sternum, and 2 sets of ribs.
Is this good?
Looks great. Anybody having trouble? So it's supposed to be go on either side of the clavicle. See how this one in the middle? Yeah, this one go like. This is what it looks Does that make sense? So that's the center.
That's not the same.
Everybody got it?
No. Just blew it.
Your next Q-tip, you're just gonna cut in half again. Nope, just in half. This one's gonna be a longer one.
Oh, mine went over there.
No problem. You're just gonna have to put more.
Guy has 3 teams.
Yes, she's putting it right below it.
Let us.
Careful with that.
So do the same thing, like set of ribs.
Yep, set of ribs. What? No, but this one's the clavicle, 2 sets of shorter ribs, and then 1 full-length Q-tip rib.
After the following.
Oh, we haven't got that far. We haven't got that far.
Yes.
You should have the clavicle and 3 sets of ribs. What's the matter, Anthony? The shooting everywhere?
Yeah, I lost mine.
Alright, so you're doing a full-length one? You have yours? Everybody at this table's good?
I cleaned it out. I'm not waxing thing. You're supposed to clean your hair. Are you supposed to clean your ears first and then put it on?
I'm getting there, Luke. We okay, Anthony?
I got it.
I'm sorry the Q-tips are shooting everywhere. I
They're
really
I
did everything I could to make it simple.
It's like.
Alright, the next one we're gonna do shorter again.
How many minutes are
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's short. Why is everything complicated?
It's not.
I know it's complicated. What are we supposed to do now? Another one?
And we're gonna do 1 more set of ribs, even shorter. So we'll have 5, a clavicle at the top, and 5 set of ribs of different lengths.
1, 2, 3. What did we do? Like,
Yep, so the 4th one is shorter than the long one, and then the last one is even shorter. Todd, are you playing or are you actually doing it?
I am just a little bit like Q-tip over on Maverick's side. Like this.
Are you having a hard time getting refocused though?
No.
Yes, let's pay attention. Yes.
What
Give me a thumbs up if you have 4 ribs. 4 sets of ribs.
I just have one more.
Alright.
I have 5. I have 5.
No, you don't. You have a clavicle and 4 ribs.
Oh.
This top one is our clavicle. Then 4 ribs. We're going to do 1 last set of ribs, and it's going to be even shorter than what you just did. This is our last set of ribs. Yes. Maverick? Miss Days is gonna have little Q-tip pieces all over her clavicle.
We'll figure it out.
Whoa. Sorry, Mr. Donald.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like progress. This is fun.
I might have to cut some
Oh,
of
yeah, I
this.
saw it.
Alright, if you don't have all your ribs, I don't need to hear your voice. We need to be staying up. How many do you have? 5 ribs. Who doesn't have 5 ribs?
I don't have
Sets of ribs.
I have.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more minute to finish. Let's not shoot it on purpose, please. That smile tells me a different story.
Yeah, I know. I tried my best, but I don't know.
Y'all ready for the next one? We're done with ribs.
Yeah.
You should have a clavicle and 5 ribs.
Yeah.
5 sets of ribs, Todd.
Oh.
5 on each
sets.
side.
5 on each side.
I do.
Just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care if they go bigger, little bigger, but 5 ribs. You're gonna take another Q-tip and you're gonna cut it in half. Mm-hmm.
Miss Days is like, Carson don't like it.
Carson's getting a full E.
One's coming your way.
Carson's getting what?
Full E.
And these are gonna come off your clavicle and they're gonna be your humerus bone, which is the top of your arm bone. Alright? Humerus.
It must have your humerus.
Must have good humerus.
Oh, humerus.
Your skeleton should look like this so far.
Can you come check one? I just need to make sure I have
Yes? Looks good.
Oh, it's
Yep. Looks good.
my first. Oh, mine's bad.
Does everyone have their humerus bone, the top of the arm? You're gonna cut your next Q-tip in half.
Your other way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mine's a little too long.
And we're only gonna do one bone for the bottom of your arm, where we learned that it's what? Your ulna and your, do you remember the other one's name? Radial bone. We're just gonna do one Q-tip. We're not gonna do both. So it's gonna go like this right here. You can do them both down if you want. You can do them both up if you want. I don't care, but you need 2 lower arms.
Cut in half.
It was one Q-tip cut in half. Yes.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Hey, we don't say that. I didn't say.
Oh, that's
Do you have room for your flames?
Yeah. I don't give them enough Q-tips on the flange. So we have clavicle, 5 sets of ribs, humerus, lower arm, ulna and radial.
Oh, what? My glue.
And this would be your elbow joint. We're gonna get tangled.
Yeah, should we cut a little piece off and then put it on the kneecap once we're done?
No, that's why you should have the pointy, fluffy part of your Q-tip.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
When we go
There
to
will
the
be a
legs,
fluffy
we'll
part
put the fluffy
right
part
here,
on
see?
there. That can be your baton.
Alright, our next piece, you're gonna cut an end off, but you're not quite in half. We're making this little piece right here.
Oh, that's what I'm making.
This little piece, it doesn't technically have a name, but
To connect his pelvis.
to connect his pelvis to his body. So it's just a short little piece.
Oh, a short little piece.
It's where his hips are gonna come from.
His hips are gonna come off this.
We don't want his hips to come straight from his ribs, so we need to have some, we're like extending his vertebrae.
Wait.
You're putting it, look, see? She
Like
cut
this?
it and she put it underneath so that we can put his hips from there. No, she made the fluff connect to it. The opposite way, Carson. Yeah.
Those are looking amazing.
Mine's big.
I feel
look great. They're not all gonna look exactly the same. We're all,
It's like we don't look exactly the same.
we all look different. Good job.
I had to cut it out because if I did it like half of it fell off.
It's okay.
My ribs are all
Yes.
yeah, you can't do that.
It looks fabulous, Todd. You're doing great.
Oh, so I have
Does it look just like mine?
yeah.
You're doing great. All right. Your next one, you're gonna cut a Q-tip in half.
Wait, what do we do?
Did you connect it something from the ribs?
Yes.
Okay, this is we're cutting one in half.
We're cutting them in half. Well, you have 2 halves. 2 halves that make one whole Q-tip. We're doing this right here, which will create the pelvis. Remember we talking about the pelvis is in your hips?
2 of them coming out from the piece that you just made. It's your
It'll look
hips.
just like this. Look.
Oh,
My guy's kind of dancing because
He's boneless.
So the last part you should have is the pelvis.
Is that, oh, that's cut in half.
Yeah, that one was cut in half to create the pelvis.
There's a little one cut off and going up. There's a little one. Miss Days.
Coming down? Yeah, you didn't do one coming down yet.
Miss Days, make some yellow bones.
Yep. For the next part, which is gonna be who knows what the thigh bone was, or the in the top of your legs. What bone was that? Starts with an F.
Femur.
Femur. You're gonna take 2 Q-tips and you're gonna cut the tips off, but you need to save the tips because we're gonna use them for phalanges. So just cut the tips off of 2 and put them in your cup if you can aim like that. Both. So you're gonna have 2 pretty much long Q-tips with just the tips cut off of one end.
Only cut the tips off one side.
Does that make sense? They're gonna look just like this. And that's gonna make our femur
No,
because
don't cut them off both sides. Only cut them
Only
off
one
one
side.
side.
Because remember
But
what we
save those
read?
for
The
phalanges.
femur is the longest bone, and it makes your height. Like most of your height comes from how long your femur bone is, right?
So we need it to be long.
So my femur bones are small.
It's gonna be our longest one.
This is the size of my It's like this.
Yes.
My ribs are small.
Your femur.
Hey, which side does the cotton go? Up or down?
I would rather put the cotton down because that would be the knee, right?
Well, this one goes up.
Oh, okay, either way.
Either way, it does. It would make sense to put it down, I guess.
Right?
but-
Yeah.
The one you tried to call yesterday is on the phone. Do you have that?
So now we have a pelvis and our femurs. Do it. Does anybody know what the bottom bone is called?
I will call her back later.
You actually have 2 in the bottom of your leg, just like you do the bottom of your arm. And it's your tibia and your fibia. But we're only gonna do 1 each. So we're gonna cut another Q-tip in half. We're almost done.
I'm only on the
What happened? You got it?
Yeah, I just need to make.
like I said, that's a good flying.
And this one you do want to make the fluff go up, so this will be our kneecap.
Yeah, you cut it in half and put the fluffy part up so it touches the other. That's fine. Or you can do it the opposite. That's just so you have a patella.
One fluff needs to be in the middle, either way. So this, just like our upper arm, this is our tibia and our fibia.
So cut a little piece off.
What? For which one are you doing?
The 2 down.
These 2? Our femurs?
The
These are just in half.
those are half.
These just have the tips cut off, and these are in half.
My eyes don't have legs. Are those already cut off or you just did that?
What?
Are those already like cut off?
Oh yeah, what about
For me cutting one,
We're gonna do it last.
I have a little half stick.
Yep. All right, you're gonna take your last Q-tip for our feet. You're just gonna cut a little bit off of each side. So it's like this much, the fluff, and just a little bit of. You can use one Q-tip to do both feet. One Q-tip for both feet. It should look about, everybody look up. It should be about this big. You have this much.
Where are we?
That's fine. Yes.
The toes
All right. We're not doing all the toes. We are going to do fingers. Phalanges.
What is your 2 toes?
Well, 2 feet. Yes.
Oh, we're not doing toes.
No. We're just doing feet.
You can draw the phalanges later. They can draw phalanges later.
Yeah.
Cut the 2 things in.
Whose skeleton looks like this so far? Closely.
Identical.
That looks great. If their legs bent, that's fine. They just bend their knee joints. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So for our phalanges, we already should have 2 tips in our cup that we cut off, and you're going to cut the tips off the rest of your Q-tips. There should be 4 left, which makes 8, and then 2 in the cup makes 10. Yes?
I have 5 more. I have 5. Yeah,
That's okay, you just need 10 phalanges.
See how it's the fluff and a little bit of the stick? You're going to take 1 Q-tip and do that. And then you're going to cut the tip.
Just cut the fluff off.
Cut the fluff off of 8 Q-tips, or 4 Q-tips, both sides.
And maybe someone else. Does anyone else need an extra Q-tip? We need to make 10. Okay. If you have extra, put it right
No,
here.
all the way.
So that I can see if anyone needs. You need 10 fluffs. So make sure you have 10 fluffs. However
10
you
fluffs
get
for 10 fingers.
So you already have some on your
5 what?
should already have some
I
fluffs.
have a half.
Well, you already cut the tips
your
off when
white
I put it in your cup. Do you remember?
Look at your white.
I can practice
So the 10 fluffs that you cut off, everybody's eyes up here. The 10 fluffs are going to be your 10 phalanges, or your 10 fingers. And you're going to glue them right on the end of your ulna and right here. There you go.
Does anybody not have 10 fluffs?
I have more Q-tips.
I have extra
for sure.
Q-tips. But you have enough.
I'm putting them off right now.
I have a purple wrist.
I have 6.
Coy, what you need, bud?
Anthony's thing fell over. So now I have. Oh.
Does anybody need help?
Looks
great. Looks great.
You can make them stick out. Make it stick out.
I have extra.
You only have 3 what?
Like, even if it doesn't.
And I don't know where the rest of your Q-tips went because
You can have this.
everyone had 20 Q-tips.
Yeah.
Somebody had extra.
I have 2 extra that they had.
Oh,
If
okay.
you need those.
I think Todd's gonna need more.
There you go.
And I have another one for you.
Here, Todd.
Anthony,
5.
you have scissors in your hand, bud.
I don't know.
So I have one hand done. That's what yours should look like. 5 phalanges for the 5 fingers on your hands.
Got it, Carson.
Great. And once everybody gets their phalanges, then I'll show you how to do the head, the skull. Yes, sir.
I don't have. Oh, I have 2 more.
For your what?
I'm not gonna get this. One's more.
Sure you do.
Extra one.
I have 13.
I have 2 extra.
Okay, that's fine. Just do 5 on each hand, just like your hands.
10.
I have 13 if y'all need it. Oh, the next one? No, 13.
What?
Where's
Then
my
do you have to do both hands? Do you have an
Lena,
entire
did you already
skeleton?
glue? Did you already glue them all? Glue the fingers on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This should be your finished product
Whoa!
so far. Huh? It is okay if your knees are bent or your arms are bent.
Or your fingers are in the vicinity. It's okay.
Yes. Or one arm's down or one arm's up. It's okay. It's a little different. As long as you have all the bones.
Mine is a real dance party.
When you are finished with all your phalanges, all of your Q-tip scraps go in your cup. Anything left over.
In your cup. In your cup. In your cup.
Anything left over, put it in your cup.
Luke. Put any of those in your cup.
Yep. In your cup, in your cup.
What about the soul?
We're almost there. We're almost there.
We're not using it out.
Not out of Q-tips. When you're done with your phalanges, we're finished with Q-tips. All your scraps need to go in your cup so we can dispose of them easily.
Put it in the
That's
cup.
okay. In your cup. If you're not using it, in your cup.
Look on the ground too.
Okay?
It's like this.
That's okay.
Kind of like this. Mine's like this.
It's okay.
I never saw that.
If you have all your phalanges and all your scraps in the cup, put your hand up so I know that who's finished.
I'm almost done.
Okay. All your scraps in the cup. Thank you. Alright. Paige is close. Jacob is close.
I'm really slow.
Anthony's close.
One more step.
Alright.
And
Now we're gonna make the skull. Pay attention. It's not hard. You just need to pay attention, okay?
Sit down. Sit down.
Oh, you're not finished? How much more do you have, Anthony?
A whole hand.
Huh?
A whole hand.
A whole hand? Okay. Hey, will you follow along with the skull and then you can do that? You can do your fingers right after. Take your white sheet of paper that was on your desk and fold it in half.
Which one?
Either way. I did mine long ways.
I'm gonna do mine like a book.
Hamburger, fold, hot dog. Either way.
Hot dog style. Book style.
I'm gonna do it kind of big so you guys can see it up here. If this is the fold of your paper, where this part that's together, you're gonna draw a C, kind of a weird C, and like that, kind of like a mushroom.
Wait, what? Where? Like here?
On the, you folded it in half.
You're grabbing the crease.
Grab the crease. This is your crease. You're gonna draw it right here. A C, and then like a little thing, so it kind of looks like a mushroom, half of a mushroom.
Like in math when we learned a line of symmetry, if you folded something in half, so that when you cut one side and you open it up, it's going to make a skull.
Yes.
I did it too.
You need to have it on the crease and draw the loop on the crease.
That's gonna
Where's
be,
the
that's how
crease?
big your, however big you make it, that's how big your skull's gonna be. So if you want a bigger skull, draw it a little bit bigger. That's perfect, Landon.
I need a massive.
And then you're gonna cut what you drew. So just this, on the crease, you're gonna cut
Does it matter how big your hole is?
however big you want it, Todd.
Just don't make it tiny. Wait, how do you make it?
To what?
Oh, never mind. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna cut the outline I drew.
Cut out the one you drew.
Todd, I don't need you to repeat everything I say, alright? So, like Miss Days was saying, symmetry, when you cut it, you have two sides and it looks like a skull. Not like that. And you're gonna glue it where the skull goes.
Maverick, you should do it on the crease side.
Cut it
You
on the
drew
crease
picture of
side.
the crease side?
Oh, this is the crease side. Mine's like.
It is okay if your skull does not look identical.
Maverick.
It's okay.
I want to try mine again.
Y'all seen Coco? All of them have different looking skull faces.
I'm gonna do one more and see which one's better.
What's the matter? Try again right there. Try right there.
This is what mine is.
Do your. And cut it out.
I'm gonna try two.
Okay.
It looks really good. Mine was way too small, so I
Do a little bit bigger, yeah. I would do it even a little bigger than that. Yes, Landon.
It didn't make one of the
You can use, once you have your skull glued down, you can use your pencil
You got it?
to draw a face like Miss Grace.
You want a bigger one? You sure? Look at it. The bigger head.
Miss Daisy is just enjoying laughing at her stuff.
Bigger head.
Here.
Put it this way.
Look at Carson.
Yeah, let's make it.
I made a mistake.
Alright.
So, it didn't really work how it was supposed to. Looks great. Looks great.
So just use this.
Let me see. What did you do?
Either piece. You can use the other piece
the
too.
same
The other piece looks more like a skull.
Look how much bigger.
Who has their skull glued down and their face drawn?
I need help.
Perfect.
First needs help.
I need some
Put it in your
help.
cup.
Okay. If you need help with your skull, raise your hand, Miss Gray, and I will help you.
Yes. It wasn't supposed to be that complicated.
That's okay.
I just need to make it bigger.
That's what Luke did too.
Let's see.
Mine looks like I'm gonna wear a hat.
I might cut out a hat.
Oh, I haven't cut out a hat.
Mine's gonna look like a hat.
I wish you could make a hat.
Wait.
It is
Okay,
finished.
this is border. My head's gonna be on it.
Oh, that's so
Look how big my span it is.
What do you think?
I'm just gonna cut
Alright.
my hair. This looks like a skull.
You think it looks like a skull? Are you done? Put your
Better?
everybody's ears up here. All your scrap paper as well. Put in your cup. It's not yours. Someone shot it. All your trash, your Q-tip scraps and your paper scraps should be in your cup.
And then what do we do?
I will collect the cups in just a minute. We're gonna do a quick worksheet, and you're gonna use your skeleton worksheet from earlier. But I'm gonna pair you up. We're just gonna pair up like at our tables. Yes. Luke, that means you'll be with Carson. Okay. It's okay.
What?
It's okay.
They're partnering up, and since
Each
you and
pair-
are both at the side, you guys will just be a partner. Listen to what she's gonna tell you.
Each pair is gonna get one of these pins. It writes on the black paper. You're gonna write your name, and we're gonna label it with your partner, just like this. You're gonna label the skull, the phalanges, the ribs, the pelvis, the femur, and the patella.
You wanna write what you want them to label big over there so they
Yeah.
can spell it right and
And then write your name at the bottom. Here, there's not. Each pair will share a pin. I only have so many. Here.
you can sit on the
For you,
stool.
Violet.
Just grab your paper and go sit by Carson. Carson,
That's
you
for
put
you
your
and
Stanley on the
Gage.
ground so he can sit by
Here,
you.
Luke. You and Carson. You and Alexia. You and Coy.
Luke, can you go back and check in your chair? Go back and check in your chair, please. When you get finished.
Listen to the directions before you start with your partner. You're going to label your skeleton. Then on the back of your worksheet, this worksheet, there is
Your worksheet.
5 questions that you have to fill out. Which bone protects the brain? Which bone protects the heart and lungs? Which bone protects the spinal cord? Which bones are the smallest on your model that you made? And then the last question I want you to think about and answer yourself, and then you and your partner are going to talk about it. But answer it first by yourself. All right? This is called think, pair, and share. So you're going to think by yourself, think, pair together, and you're going to share it with your partner. Does everybody understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, hurry back.
Todd.
So on the last question where it says think about, the question, is there, Luke, are you listening? When it says think about, the project they did was made out of noodles and beans. We obviously didn't do that. We made ours out of Q-tips. So just pretend it says, explain to your partner how your skeleton, made from Q-tips, models a human skeleton. So that's the one you're going to think about. Write the answer, and then you and your partner are going to talk about it after you're done. Everybody understand? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. And I'll write the words you're going to
I had that
Label.
paper on my desk before I went to lunch. I put it right there. And then oh, gee, that's what I did. That's probably what I did. That's probably what I did.
I'm gonna write all the bones you need to label, and then you need to label on your skeleton like Miss Grace.
No, it's just this page in here.
Okay, just do the labeling.
We should be doing it quietly, okay? You not have the other sheet, Jacob?
Well, I put it on my desk before lunch, and then when I came back, this stuff was on my desk, and I wrote
Okay. Femur, patella, ribs.
shoot.
She didn't get to do the front project either.